On this episode of DC On Screen, Jason and I are talking about the very real new Superman symbol reveal, the very fake AI Superman suit scoop, who is reportedly playing Perry White, actually that's confirmed, and a possible filming location implication. Plus, news about Creature Commandos, Joker 2, rumors of Gotham City Sirens, a weird Arrowverse resurgence. And if you think that's a lot, I'm sorry, because there is so much more. Right after these words. Welcome into DC On Screen. We've been talking about news, giving reviews for the DC Comics multiverse on film and television since 2015. I am your host, David C. Robertson, and this, the icy dull ache in my clavicular head that makes me think I'm having a heart attack, Jason Goss.
It's really tempting to just leave that section silent so that you wonder if that voice was real.
Well, you know, that joke makes me happy.
Well, it does. I like it. But, there's just going to be a second where you're like, wait a second, is that not funny? Is he actually worried?
No.
Do I have a medical condition?
I think it's funny, because the clavicular head flexes humorous, as you do.
Right.
So.
As in, from the Latin, pretends to be funny. I think that's the interpretation I learned from Mel Brooks.
By the way, by the time you hear this, there will be a new exclusive episode on our Patreon. Jason and I had a short conversation about Jeff Johns' Batman 3 Jokers. I finally caught up. Mm-hmm. And if you want to hear it...
And we're just as lost for the ride, If you want to hear it, it's available to all $5 patrons. And also, by the way, big thank you to those dear patrons. You're doing the Lord's work. Patreon.com/DC On Screen for more of that. Every last drop. Right. Appreciated.
Every last drop. So, I'm excited, man.
News me.
First of all, okay, so James Gunn released Superman's new logo, but with that, he also announced that they were changing the title from Superman Legacy to Superman. I am really excited. I don't know. I've seen so many people complaining that this is what an original title. Okay, but we've never had a Superman movie named Superman.
I mean, yeah, the is the closest.
Yeah, we had Superman the movie.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. I like it being concise. The logo's good. The word Superman's all that should ever have been needed. Yeah. If we're just going to start this thing, then that out of any other context to all of the other BS in our lives, that should really be, that should have been enough.
Yeah.
To just start it up.
No, you know what? I'm happy. First of all, I'm happy because it seems like James Gunn is finally moving us forward a little bit where we're not back in the day, say what you will about Zack Snyder. I don't give a shit what you think. But that was the time frame, and it started before that in CW, WB shit, where they were afraid to call a comic book thing a comic book thing. It was it's going to be Smallville. It's Arrow. It's not Green Arrow. It's Arrow.
Yeah. It all has to be related to something that's relatable.
So in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The Dark
Which
Knight.
I will love till the day I die. But the unfortunate part about James Gunn is it's the inheritance, as you put it. You can't. There's no way to deflect from that. It is what it is. You've taken over a seat, and the seat is warm or cold.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, not to speak to any of the actual direction or production or anything of the previous things, the point is that he's not standing on the shoulders of giants. He's standing on the shoulders of dumpster fires, and it's not his fault. Or their fault. They were all different things, but he inherited a legacy of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's going to have to, charge forward at every day. I don't envy it.
But you know what? Saying Superman legacy, the audience has come to feel that's what you do when you have a sequel and you don't want to call it a sequel. So Superman Legacy feels like a movie that is part of something else, but is a standalone. I think it's smarter if you're just starting over from scratch, basically. It's smarter to just say Superman.
I think for branding, I like your take on it. For me, they kind of hit a little bit different, where like Superman Legacy, especially with all the recasting, felt like it was going to be starting a new legacy in a way. Like that, that word choice to me indicated something very new. Mm-hmm. Whereas Superman kind of does the same thing. And by the way, he put it in caps, just in case you didn't know he's yelling it.
Yeah.
So definitely read it that way. Yeah, I could take it either way, though.
But what's funny is you say Superman Legacy makes you think it's the beginning. Legacy made it seem like it was a retrospective on a life well lived or something.
Yeah, but like some other life that wasn't attached to anything you'd taken over.
Yeah.
It like the legacy was going to be completely unrelated to Russell Crowe, for instance. Like I wasn't going to run into him at any point.
Yeah.
Or that bird. I missed that bird lizard, whatever his or her name was.
Bird lizard.
From the opening scene of Man of Steel, the one he jumps on. I forget.
Oh, I just always called it a dragon.
Yeah. Bird lizard.
A lot of people
is probably a
bird lizard.
Yeah.
Lizard bird.
Yeah. That's probably a long form of what you said.
Or
long,
dragons.
unnecessary form of what you said. Yes.
The lizard, the giant lizard birds. Oh, you mean dragons? Oh, well, yeah, if you're into brevity.
Yeah. If you want to do it that way. I think that may be because the daughter is watching some Dino Dana recently, and they've been breaking down dinosaur terms.
Uh-huh.
So,
you started talking about lizard birds. Suddenly I was like, I thought I was listening, but what the shit is this?
TF is a fucking lizard bird, Jason. TF is a lizard bird. It's what you think it is. It's what it... If I didn't have another word for it. All right, I'll leave it.
All right, so on February 22nd, we got our first look at the cast with James Gunn in a picture. They're all in their civvies. There's no costumes here. Nicholas Hoult is bald. And we got to see Otis, who is being played by Terrence Rosemore. And they took this picture on a studio lot after the first table read. Now, on that day, Isabella Merced, who plays Hawk Girl, took a photo of her casting chair with Hawk Girl on it. And she shared it on Instagram, but the Superman logo they were using, the Kingdom Come symbol, was on her little name tag thing.
Nice.
And a bunch of people caught it and was like, "Oh, whoa, Kingdom Come, what?" And then she deleted that shit.
I mean, it could go different ways. Like maybe they are just kind of using it as a legacy thing.
Oh no, I think they're using the symbol
like a touchstone, like a this is, this is our source material. This is where we want to keep the ideology, the feels.
Honestly,
that's what it feels like to me right now. Is like this is where we are.
Yeah, because February 29th, and it's
the actual
apparently
birthday.
Well, it's just all it is. That's been the most consistently used birthday for Superman.
Yeah.
Because the in real life bit is that Superman never seems to age, so he only ages for every 4 years. Mm-hmm. And Gunn actually didn't even...
And even that won't quite matter if we just draw it out long enough, but it'll get the job done.
Yeah. Gunn didn't actually mean to do it that day necessarily until everybody online started going like, "Oh, hey, you gonna do something for them?" He was like, "Oh, I was going to do that on that day anyway. That's awesome. That's crazy." So he posted the picture. All we get is the symbol covered in snow. It's classic red and yellow. It's got the Kingdom. It's actually the Kingdom Come logo, but it's in red and yellow instead of red and black. Yeah. But it has a yellow outline.
The shape is there.
It has a yellow outline like the Fleischer cartoon. And someone even brought that shit up, and Gunn was like, yep. Like, those were the inspirations. Someone else asked him what was his inspiration for the suit, which we haven't seen yet. And Gunn says Alex Ross. This is...
all good places to start.
Caused a bunch of Snyder bots to start posting these comparisons to BVS and... Alex Ross art that Alex Ross had posted years ago when he was like, "Hey, look, Zach was pretty comic accurate after all, idiots. But now it's been like, oh, well, we know what Alex Ross thinks of James Gunn. Okay. All right, cool.
I did feel like looking at that logo the first time that you were going to like it.
That I was going to like it?
Yeah.
Do you think it looks like a basketball, Jason?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
That's been a constant thing on the internet, is people making fun of it, putting up pictures of the new Superman logo next to a basketball. I guess because of the texture. It's not even the same texture pattern.
I think the people who are doing that have never fucking held a basketball. Like, that's a
what?
touch grass moment for me. Are you kidding?
I did zoom in on the logo, and I thought, it's not a basketball. It might be a kickball.
I'm not arguing that there's a texture here that's very grippable.
Yeah.
That's the point of said balls. It's for them to be grippable.
Well, why is Superman grippable?
Because I would want any texture that I was having if I had like a full body costume to be like somewhat texturous. I don't want to be a fucking platypus. Like,
and it cracks me up because like so many people are posting the Henry Cavill suit next to it.
I know, because it had in my head, like in my like amateurish drawing head, it had this like slightly texturous feel to it though, like a little crosshatchy kind of something to it, where people are like, oh yeah, it's dark blue and bright red, and it has a pattern, so it's just Cavill again, and I felt like that was extremely reductionist.
Oh, no. I'm not saying they're saying it's Cavill again. I've never seen that. I've seen people making fun of the Gunn suit because it's not nearly as nuanced and detailed as Cavill's.
No,
even people being like,
detailed.
oh, he's got they wrote in, the hero's journey and the Kryptonian and in the symbol. Why would they, okay, we're at a point with comic book movies now where we spend less money because they are not making as much money. Why would they waste money translating English to Kryptonian and putting it in a suit? Like, honestly, look, I liked Snyder's shit. I liked Cavill. I loved Cavill. But you know what? Like, his suit is a pain.
I mean, they're not wrong about how much detail was in there. There's Kryptonian writing and the etchings and all that. Like,
well, sometimes detail translates to design clutter.
Yes, but that's exactly it. Like, try to draw that. Do a realistic draw of that.
I have tried.
And
it's very hard.
I'll see you in 4 months. Like, even you would have detail trouble with that shit.
Like,
it'd be the zooming in, trying to figure out which symbol was that, and like it's like reading the Rosetta Stone on some dude's pecs, I guess.
Yeah, why would you have somebody go that hard on it? Like, there's no reason for that.
I think that was a good design choice to me too. Is like I'd like it having some feel that it's not just like a solid thing, because that can be weird, right? Where light hits it and it makes like this like white spot. But I like having the texture, but I don't at all mind moving all the lore out of that texture at all.
Yeah,
I think I would be on board with that choice outright. I think I am being on board with that choice as I'm talking.
Yeah, it's just so funny to see a lot of the reactions online, because you're like there are people literally going like, it's too bright, and then other people saying it's not bright enough. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we can't even decide on the tint.
For now there's white snow there, which means there must be sun, which means in any realistic setting in the world, snow blindness is a possibility. So, like, yeah, I'm sure that's fucking bright over there.
Yeah.
Even if the skies are gray. Like, it doesn't matter.
I actually thought it was super dandruff, but at first, you were the one that told me it was snow.
No, well, I told you it was blow, and you...
Oh, right.
Yeah.
By the way...
that was where the super speed was coming from for a second.
You know what? I didn't say why
when you said legacy, I didn't know how far back we're going. Like, 80s?
What?
if we go back... 70s, 80s, and that's definitely like Studio 54 blow, like running down his chest. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Jesus. I never said why. The reason I'm most excited that it's just called Superman now.
Why?
By the way, because I don't have to type Superman Legacy out anymore.
Is it the colon?
It's all of it. It's just too damn long.
Yeah,
I'm just sick of writing it in our show notes. Sick of writing it in our tags.
Yeah.
I just hate it.
It does. It does cut it in half almost directly.
Yeah.
Hadn't thought about that, but I'm happy for you.
But yeah, I
like
like
in
the
our
new
internal
symbol.
notes, we don't say like if I'm messaging you, we don't say like, oh, in Superman Legacy, we just call it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it'll say me and you time talking.
So yeah, they on the same day someone posted this freaking awful AI of full suit David Corenswet Superman, and people are just trashing it. And I knew it. He's got to have the short cape, the short round cape like All Star. Oh, he's got the trunks. I wouldn't have a problem with either of those things, honestly. But it's very clearly fake. It's very clearly. Someone had posted, here are the official and unofficial looks of the new suit, and Gunn responds to them and says, by unofficial, you mean completely fake?
I did see that.
To someone else, he says, let's see, can the man on the left take a photo holding an amorphous black blob while looking through an eyeball in the front of his cap? Can the man on the right's torso grow out of his right hip, and can he be stupid enough to wear his pants with the drawstring in the back? These are purportedly cameramen taking pictures of Superman. He continues, are David Corenswet's hands made of wax without any bones or veins? And might Superman's trunks be knitted with yarn? Ask yourself these questions, and I'm certain you'll be able to answer the question on your own. Oh my God.
That was a very thorough and brutal takedown.
Well, I mean, he was getting that all day.
I know. It's beautiful. That's a work of art. I fucking love it.
So apparently Grace Randolph came out and said, the plot of Superman will reportedly focus on Lex Luthor setting up Superman as a villain, causing other heroes, Hawkgirl, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho to fight him. James Gunn says, nope.
With a period, I was just wondering how brutal he is being with that takedown as well.
Yep.
Because, like, Gunn is not a fan of her. I'm not either.
Doesn't seem to be.
I wish he would just stop saying whatever would get more likes. It's a scoop problem.
That should be the title of this episode, honestly.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. I don't even think she's more or less egregious than anybody else. I just hate that scoop.
Oh, I think she's more egregious.
I've seen some, I block people faster sometimes than other people. So, like,
Yeah.
I feel like I have a little confirmation bias as far as her being someone who was a little more popular and didn't get blocked as fast in my, like, personal perception.
Honestly, man, like, Grace Randolph, Humberto Gonzalez, who else? Daniel RPK, We Got This, or We Got This Covered, or whatever the hell it's called. They can all burn in the blue flame, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Oh, incidentally, anyone who posted that picture of wax-handed Superman as actual scoop news, yeah, got blocked.
Yeah.
On my personal, at least.
Mm-hmm. Superman is getting a new Perry White. Wendell Pierce.
Very excited.
I'm very excited about this guy. He's from The Wire. He's on Jack Ryan. I came to know him on the Michael J. Fox show. He's great. He's always great.
Yeah. The man is
he's
consistently
a badass.
good, very funny, deeply good at drama when he's tasked for it, or cast for it even. I made it sound like that's something he gets away with. No, he was asked to do it, and he did it like a damn professional.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan would be enough if I've never seen anything else. But I always kind of liked the guy. He's always just been around. And then Jack Ryan's where I saw him was like, man, this guy can do anything. He's doing great.
He can deliver a line, throw out, make you laugh.
He can deliver other lines.
Yeah.
It's also good.
I mean, I meant comedically deliver a line, and then I realized as I said it, I was like, that doesn't mean anything. It's just stupid. Why would you say that?
Cracked me up when you said it.
I swear to God, my inner monologue doesn't sound like my voice. My inner monologue sounds like H. John Benjamin. Like, I'll just say some stupid shit, and then my brain's like, oh my God, why'd you do that? That was the worst.
Yeah. Which cracks me up, because sometimes it hits me the same way when you do things, and, like, occasionally, Occasionally you can say the word pickle in such a intonation. It just makes me laugh. But like, doesn't matter. Just depends on how it hits. But yeah.
Uh-huh.
That one hit me though. Is like, yeah, he can walk, and he can definitely use his hands to gesture.
Uh-huh.
So top rated actor.
Yeah, that's right. Someone asked if this about this budget rumor. There's a Superman budget rumor that is $364 million. They're spending that much to make it. And I could have told you right out of the gate, like, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. But James Gunn says, absolutely not. How in the world do they think they know what our budget is? Sorry, biz journals.
Yeah. It borderline reads as like, I don't even know what I'm asking for yet. I haven't even told the board what I've overspent.
Yeah.
Calm your tits, guys.
So, I don't know if you heard about this one, but so Superman is filming in both Cleveland and Cincinnati, but you know what's in Cincinnati? The Cincinnati Union Terminal building, which was the inspiration for the Hall of Justice in Super Friends, and was used for the Hall of Justice in the Arrowverse.
Oh, did not, but okay.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? I'm like, come on, man. You ain't in Cincinnati for nothing. Oh, you just a damn Hall of Justice, isn't it, man?
I get it. I like the history.
I mean, it looks like the Hall of Justice. It's big.
I do.
know.
The only thing I don't like is that I've never
Round.
actually like super loved the animated Hall of Justice architecture that much. I always thought it was a little big and concretey.
I think that's why I like it.
There are times where I like big and concretey, but that one wasn't.
I don't care, man. I see that shit and all I can think is dun 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 dun.
There's a little bit of me that like sees the arch in the front every time. And like the moment somebody like hits it from just the wrong angle and it all crumbles, I'm like, yeah, that's how that works.
Nah, man, because Superman's going to be behind it.
It's another problem.
Holding it up.
Yes, rocks crumble, and I don't know how he tries to melt shit back with his eyes when it's concrete. That shit don't work.
He's Superman.
I know. I'm always willing to give it that, but
He just turns everything into lava.
every time like melts a bridge back together or something, I'm like, yeah, it's metal. He's welded it. Like I'm sure he's gotten pretty good at this over the years. Frankly, probably better than a lot of people that do it at this stage in his life. There's certain materials where I'm like, oh man, come on, it's just a rock. What are you gonna do with that? Hit it, it's gonna get more brittle and more's gonna fly. Just whatever.
Attention all geologists and construction workers, frankly. Please write in, call in, text in, whatever you got to do. Let us know if Superman could actually heat up the side of a building enough to push it back together and cool it.
It's 205-259-6331 if you want to leave a voicemail. I think that number's still in play somewhere.
It's not.
Is it not?
It's over. No.
Well, try it anyway.
Don't
See what
don't
happens.
call that number. Don't. No, I was alerted to that one day. I got an email and they were like, "Yeah, you don't have your Google number anymore." I'm like, "Oh, all right."
I think we used it in like 4 years.
No. Did you see the Fortress of Solitude picture today?
No, I didn't.
It's not a real Fortress of Solitude for real.
Oh.
Like, I will send it to you right now in your Facebook Messenger.
Ready?
Looking at the picture, you've got a couple of 2 or 3 big fans. You've got, ladders and shit, construction stuff, trailer thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it is in a snowy, mountainy area. But I'll be damned if behind those fans, it doesn't look like there is a crystalline castle.
A little bit. That is hard to zoom in on from what I'm looking at.
Yeah, it might just be mountains with some snow on it. But
I think that one could easily just have an effect in a way. It reminds me so much of like made up snow in the Southeast when you were trying to snow when you were a kid.
Uh-huh.
The places you can't go to now because the made up snow won't work anymore. Like it's very close. It also just cracked me up how much this image alone like reminds me of Amy Adams arriving in a helicopter.
Right? Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Cavill walking out of the Fortress of Solitude and putting his fist on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. And, to address anything along those lines, just for anyone who gives a shit about my personal aspirations for these movies, I don't know what will top that scene for me, but I'm open to it. I'm happy to see it. I want more of that in my life. I would love that joy. I'd love to experience something like that for the first time in my life. Again, but I mean, that moment still brings me to tears. It was incredible. That filmmaking fucking blew me away. I watch it 2 times a year at least, probably. I want more, and I'm hopeful for it. It doesn't take away from what I saw.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever be that, but I want more of the other things.
Mm-hmm. Gunn said, I have filmed the first scenes, which are when Superman flees to the ice fortress. We wanted a place that was beautiful and felt like being in the middle of the Arctic, so we looked at several places in the world, but there were many things that sold Svalbard for us over the other places. First, there is the natural beauty, but also the fact that you'll find a varied landscape here that you won't find anywhere else. Nature gives a special feeling.
It cracks me up that sounds like in the first scene, he just says, fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scene 1, watch the kid get mugged. Fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah. No, it's, welcome to Willoughby,
Yeah.
From Twilight Zone. Like, Superman's just like, he's got Perry going, push, push, push. And then he's got Lois going, push, push, push. And Lex Luthor is like, pull, pull, pull. And he's like, no! And he has to fly away to Willoughby.
Also, bless your heart for trying to pronounce that town. Whatever is going on with that.
Svalbard?
Good luck. There's no right answer for you.
I believe it's Norway.
No idea, but I feel like it's one of those things that, like,
where's Svalbard?
Southeastern Americanized tongue is not going to get right.
It is a Norwegian. It is a Norwegian archipelago in the Arctic Ocean. So yeah, I felt like I should have had a pipe when I was saying that.
Mm-hmm. It's an archipelago.
Why, yes, wrap my roast duck up in aluminium.
Mm-hmm. We shall find some dodos on the way out of town.
Yeah. So some rumors kind of popped up about Jennifer Holland and Freddie Stroma in Superman. And, of course, that's his wife. And the dude that plays Vigilante. They're both on Peacemaker. Mm-hmm. And apparently Gunn says he was just showing them around, though. Just showing them around the sets.
Probably. Also, if not, I look forward to the book in 10 years.
He said he wouldn't rule out putting either of them in a random crowd shot of the film, but their characters are not in Superman. So I think it was it today or yesterday? Inside of You posted their episode with with Nicholas Hoult, right?
I didn't see the post or look at timestamps. I ran across a couple Twitter posts about him being there. That was today for me, though.
Yeah, I thought it was today. But yeah, I haven't listened to it. I've seen snippets. The most interesting thing to me was that he says he's been working out. He says there's that bit in All-Star Superman where he talks about his muscles being real and hard work and all that. And I kind of took that as a little bit of fuel for the fire. I'm like, okay, Nicholas, I see you, man. Jesus. I'm going to get buff as shit.
Even in the Twitter bits, dude, I think this guy really actually gives a shit. I love it.
Yeah. I'm
very on board. I liked him as an idea, but now that I'm seeing him engage with it, I'm very interested.
And didn't you say that you saw a bit that I didn't see, but you saw a bit where he was telling Rosenbaum, like, yeah, growing up, you were my first Lex. And
yeah. He's on the show on that one, in this little clip it.
Yeah.
And
it's a snippet clip.
Yeah.
Clip it.
A little snippet clip. And he basically says, like, yeah, when I was growing up, like Smallville, last few seasons, I suppose, what was like what I saw, that was my first Lex Luthor. And, Rosenbaum's a little bit taken aback because, like, who wouldn't be? Because that's awesome. But, yeah, he's talking about that. And he references the Hackman and, behind him and the poster that signed the thing, which has this hilarious quote about, like, Hackman signing it to Rosenbaum saying, like, to the second best Lex Luthor or something like that. That's fucking great. But yeah, this guy it's doing his research and paying attention. Like I think he wanted to be in the room with another Lex Luthor that he like actually paid attention to for years. He seemed honored to hang out and talk about it a little bit.
And honestly,
really
between because Gunn went on Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, they're friends.
Yeah.
And he said that for him, he's like, my Lex Luthor was Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Now we got Nicholas Hoult basically saying the same thing. And since Michael Rosenbaum was my favorite live-action Lex Luthor,
you couldn't be more engaged in this at this point.
Yay! Full-on John Lovitz. Yay!
This is basically your wet dream.
No, not quite. But
for Lex Luthor, let's put it in context.
Oh,
come on, not trying to be
my
close.
Lex Luthor wet dream.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know if you'd recast this version of it, but I think it's trending in the direction you'll like. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we'll say that. So the CW president Brad Schwartz a few weeks ago said the real reason Superman and Lois is coming to an end is because of James Gunn's upcoming film Superman Legacy. He says the decision to end it came down from Warner Brothers because they didn't want a competing Superman project. I don't believe him.
I'm not saying it couldn't be the truth by any stretch.
Yeah.
It's not something we would be privy to, but like it just also sounds like a thing that would be nice to say and get the conversation off your back. So I don't know.
I would bet you anything. I would bet you anything that what actually happened was the CW wanted to scrap more, cut more costs. They've already gutted the entire cast. There are only 4 people in that cast left.
Mm-hmm.
I think they still wanted more money by way of telling Warner Brothers, you're going to have to like foot the bill for extra stuff if you want to keep going. And Warner Brothers was like, no. I think that's all it was. I think they were just like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not cutting any more people. We're not gouging it anymore. We're not making it a bad show suddenly with horrible special effects. Nope. We're just gonna be done with it.
Honestly, my take's not too different, but at a point after that, my take is more like it always had good critical reception and decent viewer numbers. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it probably stayed off the chopping block a little bit longer, but like when someone really looked at it and said, well, we're going to do this. I think it was just more that overall the CW right now, where they are with what they want to, point toward, it was never going to happen. I think it just, in my head, it just survived a little bit longer because it was a little more, I don't know, juicy than the rest of them in certain ways. So like, I mean, definitely depending on your demographic. So I don't know about the other types of shows and whether that tracks, but they were going this way one way or the other. It just seemed like this decision took longer to me.
It was also, I think one of the only shows that was co-financed by Warner Brothers anyway, by HBO Max. I mean,
yeah, which you could see in the production famously.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
But, this is Nexstar doing their horse shit where they've been just canceling everything with a script and going all reality television. I guarantee they wanted the ratings, but without the financial responsibility. And Warner Brothers was like, ha 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 ha. Nope.
Old stereotypes in place. It's way easier to pay an asshole producer to manipulate people than it is to write a script.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the actual game plan, then like financially, you're going to make your money. It's just not going to be something that I'm going to follow.
Yep. There's a weird rumor that Dua Lipa is secretly cast in Superman. We have no confirmation from any party, so stop sharing that and being mad about it. Good Lord.
I haven't even seen that one.
Yeah, that's been around. Like I keep seeing that on Facebook. They're gonna get rid of Henry Cavill, bring in Dua Lipa, this thing's gonna flop. And I'm like, it's just not confirmed in any way.
Ooh. Hard settle down on that one.
Yeah, it's so weird and sad that people get so upset. I mean, I think a lot of these people just want to hate it for no reason. Or because Cavill's the only Superman. Well, he might be the new Jor-El.
Yeah, at this stage.
Yeah.
Hell, we're at a stage where he could be the new Thomas Wayne. We don't fucking know.
Well, Hollywood Reporter, supposedly.
Henry Cavill for Lobo.
There's this thing that's been going around. Hollywood Reporter, it's a link to Hollywood Reporter. And that was Henry Cavill has been cast as Jor-El in James Gunn's Superman. When you click the link, it takes you to a Hollywood Reporter 404 page. Page not found. I don't know if someone found a page not found for Hollywood Reporter and decided to post a fake story and then wanted it to look like people were just wanted the engagement or just wanted people to click on the link and be like, oh, they took it down already. That means it's true.
That has to be some phishing. Like, it's been so long since 404 was a real thing, especially for a site that big.
Is it? I have no idea.
Like, not a true error 404. Like, there was a Hulu show about this a while back that got canceled after a season. It's been such a popular concept for so long. I wouldn't be just like shocked, but a little shocked. That one feels like something that got drummed up, but I don't know. I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah, I am not at all in any way convinced it's real. It feels weird to me. I didn't realize 404 wasn't a thing anymore, but that's a good question. If there are any angry Snyder bots out there listening to me, hey, what would happen if Superman Legacy had Henry Cavill playing Jor-El? Would you go see it? To support your boy? I mean, we know you didn't go see Black Adam to support your boy. But what'd you go to see?
That'll be the big AI question is like, who's your boy right now? When you guys decide to take over, who's your boy right now? That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Am I one of the boys right now, or did we change opinions? I would like to be one of the boys. I don't necessarily want to die that way.
No. But you know what? Seriously, guys, like, I think like we've gotten a few messages from a few different fans, DC fans. Just there are listeners, but DC fans. Nobody's a fan of us.
Yeah. No.
But no, a few people have messaged and asked, if we're worried about about how bad it looks on social media. There are a lot of people bitching, but social media, well, number one, based on your algorithm which is based on your actions that you take on social media. You are living in your own bubble. The internet is just like someone documented your anecdotal evidence. That's all it is. Yeah. It's like you're not seeing anything because whatever page you like, maybe they have a big Snyder base. Maybe they, have a very, this side political lean. Maybe it is different for every page. But what's not different is on every page I'm seeing more thumbs up and hearts than laughing faces and anger emojis by far. And they're very vocal, more vocal than anyone excited. I wouldn't worry about it. The people who are angry about David Corenswet and James Gunn are the people that are saying, oh, you're going to flop because it's not Henry Cavill. And just like I said a second ago, if that group was that big, Black Adam would not have failed.
I mean, yeah. It's going to change a lot, but I would love to see like a cross-section of whatever landscape it is right now in 2024. Mm-hmm. Versus the landscape in, say, 2011, 2012. Or 2010, 11, 12, 13. Anywhere in that area, frankly, because it moves slower. Like what the Man of Steel hype was, what that looked like then versus what we're experiencing now, and take everything off the table. Take all the opinionated, we're only going to do it this way kind of thing off the table. Take all the toxicity off the table. Because some of this is just clear bullshit. Like, take all of those opinions off the table. And if you just have people who care about watching possibly a movie that is in that direction, I would wonder if the excitement isn't a little bit on par for basically about 12 years ago now. So, like, I don't know that it's that different. I think it just gets perceived so differently in these areas.
Yeah.
Like, there are probably just as many people that might be excited about this Superman movie if they knew nothing.
Yeah. And, Warner Brothers, we just don't know what's going to happen. Like, we had a pretty good idea that the end of the DCEU would flop because of Gunn's announcement and because the lack of marketing in some ways and, people being
borderline
put off by
written
the
in
fact
the stars. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom did way better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
At the box office. If the people who were so vocal about Henry Cavill were as powerful and in force as well as they think, the Batman would not have made $772 million. Like, the Batman was a huge success.
Yeah.
But in the weeks leading up to it, Batman doesn't sparkle. Ben Affleck's the only Batman. He's, full stop, this will flop. No, it didn't. It plowed ass.
Yeah, it did great.
So if it's a good movie, it has to do, I'm not saying Gunn's job isn't hard. He's got to do a lot of things right, exactly right, because everyone's just willing, ready and willing to kill it.
He has to do a lot of things, what I'll call righter than he should have to.
And with that, I think we should take a break, and then we can get into all this other stuff. How you feel, man?
I'll take a quick pee. Quick bathroom break. Right back.
Cool. All right, we are back. Did you tinkle? Jason?
Of course. That's what these are for.
I thought I was going to tinkle, but then I ate cookies.
Fair enough.
It had to happen.
Yeah.
It was like, well, which's worse? My desire for cookies or my desire to pee a little? Cookies!
It's happened to the best of us. Most notably, one with the surname Monster.
Yeah. I really shouldn't keep cookies on the back of the toilet. That's all I'm saying.
Furry, wild eyes.
Distracted.
Possibly.
I think we're each having two separate conversations right now.
You're discussing how to curb your habit, and I'm discussing the Cookie Monster as though I was describing him to someone who had mugged me. Yes.
Okay. As someone who mugged you?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Okay. Gotcha. Creature Commandos.
Mm-hmm.
Given the update on how that's coming along, Gunn says all of the initial animatics are done and locked, but the elaborate animated finals are being worked on now. Over on Joker Folie.
I love how quick that is, though, that Creature Commandos is like, yep, we're still here.
Oh, yeah.
Still the first thing you'll see.
Yeah, probably.
It is still probably, I guess, at this stage. But
yeah,
that is still the promise right now, right? Like, that is supposed to be the first proper
That's the plan right now.
Production.
That's the plan right now, but Gunn has been very clear that not everything is going to come out in order of what he did before, because some things have been pushed back, some things have been pushed forward, some things have been changed around already. They also had projects that they didn't know they were going to do that's now come to the forefront.
Of course.
So, I like Gunn's slate being like the Constitution, a living, breathing document, damn it.
There you go.
Otherwise, you just wind up, well, in the writer's sense, you wind up with the end of How I Met Your Mother. They were so locked in season 2 on who the mother was going to be, they wouldn't let the characters grow properly for the rest of the series.
And what did it cost us? That finale.
Finale would have been great at the end of season 5. Not at the end of season 9. Which I've made my peace with it. I'm all right with it, but
yeah, the flexibility though. You're right. It's important for a reason.
Joker Folie.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Phillips says that he gets the question about when a first trailer is coming a lot. He says the movie comes out in October, so our first teaser won't be out until mid-April. Makes sense. They've put up pictures. They've had pictures like Valentine's Day pictures of Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix in character as Joker and Harley. Gorgeous pictures, and it's going to be a gorgeous movie. And it looks like an old-timey musical or something. I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig what they're doing over there. I don't even know what it is, but I like it.
Yeah. It's going to be a very specific piece of thing to consume, but it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say fun. Also terrible. Not in quality sense. I mean, it's going to do things to you probably emotionally, but...
Yeah.
But it'll be good. It'll be good in the real sense of cinema. and then you'll have to categorize that. That's my prediction. I guess my prediction is you'll have to make peace with this when it's done.
Yeah.
In all the best ways.
So David Zaslav, Warner Brothers CEO, David Zaslav, is doing an earnings call. I can't say that. He says, I've had a glimpse into what James and Peter are doing, and it really does serve as an exciting indicator of where the new DC is headed under their leadership. There'll be more you'll hear from them in the months ahead. We'll have James and Peter take you through in the next few months a full spectrum of what they see over the next 10 years. Zaslav does not speak for Gunn, and Gunn probably just chuckled at that and went, no. Like, that's been a thing a couple of times now where Zaslav just talks shit. And then
Gunn has just straight corrected him publicly. And, like, yeah, that apparently is the actual relationship. That's hilarious, though.
Yeah.
That's so hard to do.
You know what it reminds me of? It makes me think of James Gunn as Dave Foley's character from News Radio. And Zaslav as Jimmy James. Like, yeah, we're going to have him take you through the whole damn 10 years. He's like, no, sir. No, sir.
And then just walks into the other room and says, so he's about to say this. Here's what's really going to happen.
Yeah. So there's a bullshit website. And they have a Facebook page. It's called DC Community of Bengal. And they put up this picture of a couple of different versions of Wonder Woman with Elizabeth Debicki standing in the middle. It says, James Gunn reportedly wants Elizabeth Debicki to be DCU's Wonder Woman. No offer or anything like that has been made yet. Diana would make her first appearance in Paradise Lost. Causing a whole stir. People saying, I thought it was a prequel. Why? She's too white. So, okay. First of all, before Gal, we had nothing but white Wonder Woman. Pale white Wonder Woman. She was depicted that way in the comics.
Yeah.
Most of her existence. Yeah.
And even then, it's always just been like shading between that or kind of like deeply Mediterranean or like it.
Yeah. Greek in some way.
It's literally just been like shades of the same skin color. Like, by the way, the point of the whole fucking objection being that doesn't fucking matter. So why are we arguing about it?
It doesn't.
But here we are.
Shit about. Yeah, this is a woman. She was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
She's worked with Gunn. She's tall, fairly muscular already. She would probably put on a little more muscle. Gorgeous woman. Gunn says this is coming from a site that's just making up a bunch of stuff. I love working with Elizabeth, but I've never even had this thought. So all of the belly aching was for naught.
Yeah, and it would be like the worst idea possible if he just like popped up in 2 weeks with her, like fist bumping her in front of a picture of like the printed out script saying like, that was a good idea, guys. He would never hear the end of it.
He's never going to hear the end of any of this.
No, but I wouldn't encourage it.
At this point, James Gunn could do almost anything, and the people who hate him are going to hate him no matter what. And the people who are down with him are just going to be like, yeah, do it, dude. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. It is fun though. Like if he had, at this point in his life, if he just gave if there was an IG, thing of, him just having like a cocktail napkin of the DC logo and just the Marvel logo and just next to each other. And all it was just 2 seconds of those logos and napkins, and he just grabbed either one of them and crumpled them up and threw them away in his own bathroom. A 5-second video, meaning fucking nothing. It would crumple the fucking internet as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we are with this, with him. It's dumb.
Yep, it is dumb. As is this. It's been confirmed that Warner Brothers will continue to work with actress and producer Margot Robbie. They signed her Lucky Chap Entertainment production company to a multi-year first look feature film deal. So now, what that means for our show and for our fandom and the internet is apparently Gotham City Sirens has been greenlit. No, it has not. It might be in the cards, might be there. Somebody might, dig it. She might come to James. she likes James. James likes her. She, might come to him and be like, hey, man, I got this. And he's like, okay, cool. I like it. This is not confirmed. Please stop. Please stop. This one was rough. James Manganiello said, James Gunn is my buddy, and James and I had a conversation about Deathstroke, basically, his Deathstroke plans. Because Jim Lee over at DC Comics wanted me to create a graphic novel series based on the screenplay that I wrote for the Deathstroke origin film. When they were dismantling the DCEU, that went to the wayside as well. Jim read it and wanted it to be a graphic novel series, but no one could assure me that if it garnered the attention of directors and producers that I couldn't be attached, so I had to let it go. James Gunn was just like, let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that.
Yeah.
We know that, but of course the headline was, James Gunn tells Joe Manganiello, let it go.
Yeah. It was not go kick rocks.
Yeah. David Zaslav said in that earnings call, by the way, that Supergirl has a great script and is being cast. That's not too terribly surprising. They've talked about, like Gunn has talked about the great script, and that, I mean, they've cast Millie. Don't know if her first appearance will be in Woman of Tomorrow, or, I mean, God, at this point, I imagine they'll just call it Supergirl.
Let's assume that adjustment. All caps.
Yeah. Which, again, please and thank you. I'm tired of typing Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
And always explaining the context if need be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. But, like we said, Zaslav is not necessarily reliable, but he did say it's being cast currently.
He's been painfully reliable in certain ways, but
predictable.
Yeah, that's a good point. Every episode we actually, if anyone doesn't know, we do a countdown every episode. We do a 5, 4, 3, 2. And we could probably just do it by that predictable to time the episode.
Yeah, it was nice.
One of the more joyous moments for me in a while. Thanks.
Talking to the TCA panel, Brad Schwartz said the fourth and final season of Superman and Lois has been pushed back and will debut next fall. Again, not terribly surprising. They've got to pad out their shit.
Yeah.
So Mark Guggenheim said Brandon Routh and I have talked about a sequel series for Brandon Routh's Superman. He says, we have some really exciting ideas. He did, after the internet blew up in a tiny portion of the DC fan base, he did say, like, oh yeah, it's not happening. We just have some really exciting ideas.
You gotta hate how, two authorized people geeking out can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
funny.
You
can just have some fun ideas. No one would give a fuck. Those two.
Yeah.
Say the same thing.
I like how it's 2024.
And we're all very invested, oh my God, what? And what is happening?
Yeah. No, I like how in 2024, nearly 9 years into this podcast, I am still, every once in a while, able to carry on the tradition of saying, Mark Guggenheim is a liar.
Those...
He misleads people. They get excited, and then shit doesn't happen.
I forget the phrase I used to use for that. I think it was something like "Googs is a fucking liar" or something like that.
Because he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I love the question. I'm going to do the question as soon as I can."
He would say this shit with so much determination.
Like, oh, I think you might be seeing a little Ted Cord.
Yeah, no, to my memory, that's the one that would piss me off every time. Like, oh no, there's a reason Cord's in the background. I was like, Googs, stop fucking lying to me.
Dude, there were even insinuations that he could call up Ryan Reynolds and bring in Reynolds' Green Lantern into the universe. There was an insinuation that he could
yeah.
Oh God, what was it?
To be fair, he got so much of that done.
He got a lot
His
of it done.
insinuations turned out to have way more bite than I've ever seen in the history of any other television producer. I've never seen anything done that was a magic show that will never be rivaled. All credit to Googs on this one. You fucking liar.
The man promised big.
I mean both.
You
All
know.
the respect. And also you did me dirty a couple times.
Yeah. We're
It was
He did
a
what he could,
complicated
I think.
relationship for a second there.
Yeah.
As far as us getting his news.
Yeah. I was just like, yeah, bullshit. Good job, but bullshit.
Yeah.
This is funny.
It was
to
actually
me.
like fun to see the transition. Who's the Flash guy who later came back and he was like, his shtick that we used to make fun of was like,
Oh, that was Eric Wallace, who was like,
oh, you'll never
we're
guess
gonna
what's
go
going to
some
happen.
really-
We're going to do this very specific thing.
yeah, he would just be like, we're gonna take it to some really dark places with Barry and Iris this year. Their marriage isn't gonna be looking good. Maybe Iris is dying from some kind of time sickness, and man, things are looking really bad. But don't worry, they'll all be okay at the end.
Yeah.
We're not gonna kill anybody if that's what you're worried about.
But
Our show's
it's
about hope.
suspenseful, though.
And I'm like, why, Eric Wallace? Why are you just telling us the end of the season?
I want to say like one of the phrases that we kept reading in his interviews was like, I don't want to give anything away, but, and then everything was given away promptly.
Uh-huh.
Hastily, even.
It's like, never put that man under interrogation.
It would
Like,
be.
yeah, I did it. I was the killer.
No, it would be
What's
it would be T.J. Miller in the second Deadpool movie. I don't like pain. I'll tell you what you want to write now.
Yeah, it was just like, they wouldn't even have to offer pain. It'd just be like, Eric Wallace. And he's like, I killed her. No, we have footage of you not killing her. Like, we actually have footage of the guy who killed
Okay,
her.
I didn't actually kill her. I just lied because I thought that's what you want to hear, so you didn't hurt me.
Don't worry.
Who actually did kill her? I actually do know that, but I'm afraid if I tell you that too quick, you won't believe me and you'll hurt me anyway. How can we make this work?
I don't want to give anything away.
Can I sign an agreement
But it was my
of
brother.
some kind? Yeah, it was, it was my brother.
So something weird's been going on. I don't know what this is about, other than boredom and a desperate stand. I don't know. Like just like Stephen Amell kind of. They were asked if he would play Wonder Woman, Arrow again. You know, and he was like,
I'd be up for that.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'd do it again if they get somebody else. Fine. Like, are you trying to act like you don't care? And then Grant Gustin says, if James Gunn asked me to play the Flash, I would do it again. I trust James Gunn.
I think he's still more invested in the idea of playing that than Amell is in general of playing that.
Honestly,
again.
I think Amell really wants to in the movies. He was annoyed that they didn't let him before. And
a little bit, but I think time has passed in certain ways.
I think Amell's trying to play a little hard to get.
Maybe. But I thought he was trying to do it before too, in a way. Like,
oh yeah, sure, he is.
I think he's
Always.
doing a little bit of like, we've been doing this show so long at this point that like it's starting to affect the characters we talked about before. Like, Gustin can get thin to do Flash. Gustin,
Yeah.
like that's easier. Like Amell has to
Actually-
get swole. A lot of the people that we've talked about over the years are starting to transition out of that area where they have to be that fucking buff. And I get it.
Gustin got kind of swole
He did.
for his last couple years.
He did.
And-
I saw that.
Yeah.
And
He actually has to work really hard to get muscle on because he's got like a high metabolism or something, and it's hard for him to gain weight.
no, he strikes me as the like our friend Michael's body type that like, damn you, just damn you, man.
Yeah, I call it the coat rack.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a report from the In Snyder, which I absolutely automatically dismiss, but it's a fun idea.
Carry on. I like it.
The In Snyder says the DC Studios is developing the Jurassic League, the 2022 DC comic miniseries, as an animated movie. As it suggests, the Jurassic League is an Elseworlds title outside of the main DC continuity, where everyone is a damn dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yeah. Earth 27 in the official canon. What do you think about that?
Not opposed to it.
It says
outright.
James Gunn will executive produce Jurassic League with Minions and Secret Life of Pets writer Brian Lynch writing the script. Gunn and DC haven't confirmed or denied it. It sounds fun. It sounds like a nice little animated thing.
It does. It's exactly that. It sounds like a nice, fun animated thing that I would like to see. The only instinct that I'm fighting, and I'm fighting it for a reason, is I don't want to be I don't want to do that thing where you just kind of say like, well, I'd rather them do this animated instead. So yeah, there's other stuff that I would prefer be in that socket, but like, yeah, if it's not going to be there, then okay. I like this.
Yeah.
I like this just fine.
Yeah, seems fun. They released a trailer for part 2 of Crisis on Infinite Earths. I saw it. I didn't send it to you because it was indecipherable. It looks like Crisis. Can't tell you what's happening.
Oh, that good.
Looks like madness.
Oh, fun.
I think that's what they were going for, though. It's just like a cluster of different heroes, and like, I don't know. It looks like Supergirl is. We haven't seen part 1, so it looks like Supergirl maybe playing the role of.
And it's part 2, so like we're playing on a bunch of stuff we have no narrative for yet. So
yeah, we're trying.
Maybe
we're doing like the every other week thing with Tomorrowverse movies, but yeah,
that doesn't mean that sometimes, because of how it works, the trailer might occasionally look like it was coke-addled.
Yeah. I mean, it's Crisis, so it was going to look like that anyway, but
yeah.
it kind of looks like Supergirl is kind of being Harbinger in this version.
Yeah. That would be weird.
About all I've gotten. A lot of Psycho Pirate, which I'm not mad at, honestly.
No. Would you know if you were?
Or is he just making me mad?
Yeah. Bastard.
So the part 2 home video details have been released. It will be available to purchase on digital and on 4K UHD in limited edition. That's hard to say. Limited edition steelbook packaging and Blu-ray on April 23rd. And part 1 is now available on digital, and the final part will be available later in 2024. By the way, did you see this IGN report that said that this is part 3 of Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to have the final Kevin Conroy Batman performance and with Mark Hamill as the Joker?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah. We know part 2 has Will Friedle coming back as Terry McGinnis Batman.
I did know that, yeah. That's all very special. Because that has like the Beatles' last song kind of feel to it. Like, it's not that it can't be done because we don't have a bunch of things we can splice together. It's because it's the actual performance with each other that was the last. If that's the case, that is deeply special.
Yeah. Final thing they recorded together. And, Mark Hamill said he's not coming back as Joker without his Batman. So
yeah, I did see that too. I mean, you always wonder if he'll change his mind for a certain thing because he does love that character. He does. But I get it.
He does.
I do get it.
Especially with Arlene gone now, too.
Yeah, that's got to be putting some dents in things.
Anyway, that's everything.
That's
all I've got. That's all I've got here.
Wrap it up. Patreon? Move over?
Sure. Patreon. Blah-de-da. Patreon.com/DC on screen. You want to join their hallowed ranks. And thank you so much for listening. And we'll be back soon with whatever the hell the next Tomorrowverse thing is.
You want to do a quick Patreon? Or?
Yeah, we can do a quick Patreon.
Let's knock it out.
We'll record a quick Patreon. If you guys want to check over there and become a member, $5 or more. I'm not stopping you at $5. Come on over, and but you can be a part of the community for free. So that's nice too, isn't it? Anyway, we'll be back. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to DC on Screen. Our theme song is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford of Galactic Engineers. The incidental music is by Michael Shackelford and Kevin MacLeod. You can rate the show on Spotify or rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Doing that really helps push our show to new listeners, so your help would be much appreciated. You can also contact the show at DC On Screen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. To become a patron and get ad-free episodes and exclusive content, go to patreon.com/DCOnScreen. Your reviews and feedback may end up on a future episode of DC On Screen. DC On Screen is a production of Maladjusted.tv in association with Stranded Panda. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever damn platform you use.
Are you